Welcome back to the free flow.
What's your problem?
Welcome back to the Free Flow podcast
Wait,
with
you're
me.
so loud. Can you get it? Oh, wait, no, it's just my headphones were up all the way. Okay.
Welcome back to the Free Flow podcast with me, Lauren McKenna, and my sister, Nicki Ashley. We're here to talk about all things in our 20s as we are on this journey of awakening, and we are chit-chatting about being human, about navigating life. And this is just a safe space if you are looking for a community to learn with, to grow with, to mess up with, to vibe with. Welcome to the fam, guys. Nick, what's up, girl?
I was just thinking and reflecting on that intro. This word awakening triggers me because
I knew it would.
because it doesn't feel like that all the time. It doesn't feel good. Like, that's my problem with the word. Awakening sounds so uppity and exciting and peaceful, and I get the impression that it's an uplifting experience, but some days it literally feels like a roller coaster. And that's what this past 3 weeks has felt like. Granted, I feel as though I am coming out of a severe transformation. So when I went home, I felt this limiting belief surfacing. I felt as though I had to projectile vomit. It was not literally, but emotionally. All of these emotions were coming up. And when I saw my mom and my sister at the airport, I initially started crying, and I'm not a crier, but I felt this deep desire to get this limiting belief out of me that I'm not enough and I'm not accepted. It was a really weird feeling. I was having dreams leading up to that trip related to not being enough, nobody wanting me, whatever, which I talked about a little bit on the last podcast. And Lauren poured herself a glass of wine when we got home. And
Oh my God,
I
yeah.
stayed up with her, just digging in,
Well, you
taking
got
notes.
home. Nick got back at we pulled in the driveway probably 11 p.m. And me and Nick are both in bed usually by, no, I waver, but early, And you are always in bed by 8. And the fact that you were awake and talking to me, I was like, I could totally vibe with a late night chit chat. I love late night, let's talk about the universe and give me some Moscato vibes. And Nick had her notebook out and we were just diving deep into everything, getting to the root. That's what we were doing, was getting to the root of what you were feeling in that moment. And in turn, it was very much mirroring what I've been feeling because I needed that too that night.
Yeah, and I think it's important to recognize that there's different modalities to do this work, right? I could have somatically shaken, but in that moment, I knew it. I don't know how to describe it other than in that moment, I knew I had to use my mind and talk
Yeah.
it through. And that's not always the case. If anything, that's rarely the case.
Yeah. And sometimes for me, it's pouring myself a glass of wine. That's not my go-to, but also I'm human. And maybe there's a day where I don't do that. It's not often that I do, but alcohol is a plant medicine. Not that Moscato is healthy by any means. We've definitely demolished the medicine within it. But I set an intention with that, with alcohol. And it's sometimes I need to do breath work. Sometimes I need to do hape. Sometimes I need a glass of wine. Sometimes I need to go climb a tree.
Sometimes I
It all
need
depends.
I
But
call
I want
Lauren
to
my
speak
Buddha.
on, yeah, and you're my guru. I want to speak on the word awakening for one sentence. Awakening is realizing that this is all a dream. So
But it's not a dream.
It's not
I
real.
mean, I understand metaphorically what you mean.
It's not real. I am not Lauren and you are not Nicki. It's not real. This is a projection. We are a fragment of source. We are a fragment of light. It's experiencing itself through the eyes of Lauren and Nicki. This is just a movie projection that we are watching and we are the actors in it, not even realizing that we are the one directing, creating, playing the movie.
Yeah, I'm not quite there yet. I believe that we're all souls. I mean, I believe that we're all souls and we have like cocoons. Using a Kabbalah term, we have shadow work to do in this lifetime. But I do believe that we are a part of and apart from the universe, source, whatever you want, God, whatever term you want to use. But my head's not in the movie term yet, but that's a topic for another day. What I
Give
would
it
love to get
time.
into, huh?
I said give it time.
Give it time. I know, I always come around to your wackadoo ideas. Um, but I would love to hear, and I've been waiting for this podcast to ask about your breath work and to just give a little background as to what breath work is. The picture that I won't use names that your coworker sent me, who's also my coworker,
Yeah.
with our mom and you, mom was literally like lit up. Lit
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, so I facilitated last night. Let's call her Sally. With Sally. And I'm a 90 breathwork facilitator, so if anybody's done active breathwork, I'll explain it very simply. We have our autonomic nervous system, which when our body doesn't feel safe, it suppresses our emotions so that we don't feel them. We don't finish the cycle of feeling them and they're not moved through our body. They quite literally get stuck in our nervous system. So the autonomic nervous system controls our breath, and our breath is the one thing that we can control consciously or will occur unconsciously. So we can override this part of our body by consciously breathing. And we do this with strong breaths, breathing very deeply. And 9D has an auditory element to it. So there's guided coaching, subliminals, solfeggio frequencies, binaural beats, all of these things to deeper access the subconscious mind and like just have a greater intention behind the session. So,
Before you dive in, can I just say a little bit as somebody who's an outsider who experienced it for the first time?
yeah,
I did it with Lauren and my mom in a studio. I think it was a Zula Den,
it
and I
wasn't
was
9D,
dreading
but
it.
we did breath work.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was dreading it. I honestly thought breathwork was like deep breathing, focusing on your breath. I had no idea what it was.
Everybody says, "Oh, that sounds so relaxing." And I'm like, it is
Yeah.
the complete fucking opposite. Like afterwards, it's relaxing, but during it, it's like, holy hell.
It took the life out of me. I got into a trance state. And again, all of this is new to me. This is not the spiritual world is not something that I was gung ho about. I've come around to it and I've been doing more inner work. But I love that Lauren has explained to me the science behind it as well. It helps me wrap my head around it.
Mhm.
And as somebody who just did it for the first time, it is whack. Like the emotions that arise, the feelings that arise, you feel like a squeezed out sponge afterwards.
Yeah, you feel so empty because you're quite literally completing the somatic cycle of the emotions. And just like a fun tidbit, this really made sense to me, and I feel like it did to you too, is if you look up somatic release in animals, like look that up on YouTube or something, you'll see that when animals are being chased, let's say they get away from their predator, their body takes over and they like shake, they kind of like run in place. They literally get this buildup of energy out of their system and then they completely shift to a parasympathetic state, which is like that rest, digest, creative state. And they're so present in the moment that their body's not holding on to the trauma that just occurred. Their body quite literally released it all. So as
I'll
humans,
link
our
it in the show
mind,
notes.
yeah, we'll put like a YouTube link. Our mind, we are conditioned often to be like, hold your emotions within, you're too much, big girls don't cry, like just what all the things we're told. And we're told to just stay contained. Like animals, they be out in the wild, they do whatever the fuck they want. We have to act a certain way in society. So oftentimes, the cycle of the emotions being processed and released is not completed. So it gets stuck in our body. So during breath work, um, I don't even know what we were talking about why I wrote this up, but it's like you shake, you cry,
You complete
you
the cycle, you
yawn.
said.
Yeah, you quite literally complete the cycle, um, which is beautiful, which is beautiful. So, yeah, we had a session yesterday, and I haven't done too many group sessions, so I was nervous. Nicki knows. I held my shit together, but internally I was nervous, and it was in
Did Sally I
Chicago.
told Sally that you were nervous.
You did tell her?
Mhm.
That's so that's funny. Um, she was cool. Well, I was supposed to get there 45 minutes early, and me and Nick's mom came with. She's a cutie pie. She came to support and to experience. So I was driving us into the city, and girl, I thought this place was an hour away. I put it because I'd been there before and it had only taken an hour, but I didn't account for like rush hour fucking traffic. It took almost 2 hours to get there, bro. So from the second we got in the car, I started tweaking because I was showing up when it started at 6:30, and I was supposed to be there 45 minutes early to set up. So all was good. Sally was a sweetheart. She was like, "Take your time. I'll get this space set up as much as I can," like all the things. And I just surrendered. My whole vibe in life right now is I simply decide life is easy, everything is working out for me, everything is divine, and it's crazy because when I really, like, tapped into that, I was seeing, the 333, like, all of the little signs and stuff, and I just knew for whatever reason that's when I was supposed to show up, and just to say, I'm always so early everywhere I go, so this was, like, a rarity that I was late. I always triple check times and everything. I don't know why I was so stuck on it being whatever. So we drive 2 hours, we get there, we run up, people are there, I'm setting up the equipment, the Wi-Fi is not working, the audio is not working, it's already past the time that it's supposed to begin. Thank God I, like, downloaded it onto my phone because even the hotspots weren't working. So I was able to get it up. I kept my cool, but internally I was like, "Ah." And we opened the space, and something that I really, really, really appreciate is that, I have a history of being a dancer, an exotic dancer, and it's something that, especially in the work world, right? Like, I keep on the low. I don't really talk about it because it's taboo. You don't talk about that. And Sally always, like, brings it into the space and adds so much
How did
value to
mom
it.
feel about that?
Oh, mom doesn't care. I mean, she's not like, "This is Lauren the stripper," you know what I mean? But but she just she Sally, what she was saying, it was really beautiful. She's like, "Yeah, I feel called to share. I actually met Lauren. I worked with her sister for years, and her sister said to me, like, she was explaining to me how Lauren was on a path of being a dancer and she was spiritual and Nikki wasn't understanding this path that she was on. And Sally was saying how she was like, "Yeah, I totally get what Lauren's on. Like the sexual, the sensual, like it's all merging together." Because 5 years ago, I very much was lost in the sauce with being a dancer. I just made a TikTok about how, like, I got in this path because I got into manifestation, and I was like, "I'm gonna manifest $1,000 when I dance tonight." And it has taken a turn into a world I could not even have imagined, and I've stopped dancing and all the things, and I'm like, the spiritual path is not what I thought it was, right? But I thought it was really cute that she shared that because I never knew that tidbit that you had expressed to her that you just, like, didn't understand what path I was on. And I
Uh-huh.
appreciated that she brought that into the space, and that she values because I was doing that for 6 years, like, it was a big part of my life, and it's a big reason why I'm the person I am today, and I grew so much from it. Anyways, so we did that. It was funny because we were doing the intro, and I actually felt so safe, like, doing it. I think having
Mm.
her there, another friend there, mom was there, I felt so safe. I felt so embodied. The whole day I was grounding outside for a while, meditating, doing hape, praying. Like, I really set myself up for success in the mindset sense. Took some skull cap that will regulate you. If anybody's looking for a tincture for nervous system regulation, skull cap is fire. I just took some before we started. And yeah, it was great. It was funny because we were opening the space and I was like, breathwork is fucking uncomfortable. And she she grabs my arm, she goes, but it can be pleasurable. It can feel good. And I was like, facts. No, she's right. Like, I need to remember that. I'm like, that's life, I'm really shifting this mindset of things have to be hard. And to me, there's a difference between challenging and hard. Challenging can be so rejuvenating and beautiful, but it doesn't have to be like when I think hard, it's like you don't want to be doing it. You know what I mean? It's like weighing you down, it's taking your energy from you. And breathwork, really, as difficult as it is and as uncomfortable as it is, there have been so many moments where I've felt great pleasure in it?
It's the same as working out. Working out is a common thing that people do that evokes temporary discomfort for long-term gratification. Like, that's a common relatable
No,
thing.
but I'm saying during the actual practice, like feeling pleasure in the discomfort in the moment, not after the fact. Yeah, but the session itself went great. I think one of the reflections that we had, because during the session we practiced body work, so really just light touch for people to create that co-regulation, like that safe space for them to go deeper, to have a release if need be. And it's that question of when do you insert yourself versus when do you let somebody have their own process? And we
Mm,
were talking about that, and I honestly feel like that's life. Like, when do you insert yourself into other people's lives versus when do you just let them infer their own things, have their own experience? Like, that's something I used to always give my opinion to people without them asking. They would tell me what dream they had, and I would be like, "Oh, that probably means A, B, and C." And my one friend was like, "No, I actually think it means this." And I was like, "Oh, that's why you had that dream because you inferred it that way." But that's different.
mm.
That's random. But it was great. Mom had a great time. We got some stuff for social media. And then yeah, just you know what? After the fact, I think I was a bit confused because after the previous sessions that I've had hosting breathwork, I felt like I had just climbed the top of a mountain and was like so proud and just also drained, like that empty feeling. And after this, I felt grounded, but because the introduction wasn't difficult for me, like I didn't freeze at all, dude. Because it was easy
Nice.
for, yeah, thanks. Because it was easy for me to get through. When I was done, it was almost like, well, that was easy. And
Really?
and I just said that that's been one of my mottos lately is like, I decide that life's easy.
Did it feel in alignment?
It did. It was a different feeling than the first one. I think because I was frantic internally when I got there. I was with another facilitator and I wanted to show up for her because most of the people that came like came through her, you know what I mean? And then also we were getting footage of the journey. So none of those on a conscious level I feel like shifted me, but subconsciously I did feel like they shifted me because during the journey my job is to stay grounded, right? And I could feel, although I was grounded, I could feel that there was like something wavering. Like there was friction somewhere in my field. And I think it was like kind of all like those three things. But afterwards, then my mind was like, wait, I need to find why am I feeling like not quote unquote complete, Like, why was this
Mhm.
too easy? And then I was like, mind, get the fuck out of here. Stop trying to make a problem.
Mhm.
And then I just vibed. I just watched Big Bang Theory for the rest of the night.
Do you wanna
But
do another session? Or did I make you not wanna do more sessions?
no, I do want to do more sessions, and it made me really want to do more sessions. So I'm like
What
hyped
were some of
about
the
that.
people's takeaways?
They weren't as crazy as the other one I did. They were just kind of like, what even were they? Nobody shared anything too crazy. It was just like feeling a lot of things, I think. I think people were just feeling because the previous sessions I've had, people have had like psychedelic experiences, which is really cool.
I would argue, though, that your target audience in the previous experience in LA, people may have dabbled in nervous system work
I
already,
think
and so
I
they're a
think it
lot
was a
more.
different energy. It was just like the space
Mm,
had a different energy.
yeah, but think about,
Not
like, the
like
difference
better or
between my
worse or anything.
experience. Think about the difference between my experience and, like, our neighbor's experience, and it was the same
Well, yeah, and I've had
occurrence.
ones. It's different on the day, right? Like every day, every space, every group, every journey, it's always different. Like you're not gonna have a
Mhm.
psychedelic experience every time probably, and you're not gonna have like a nothing experience every time. But it was cool. I want to do more of them. And for anybody out there, just face your fucking fears because this was like my biggest fears, like facilitating and speaking to crowds. So just go towards your fucking fears. Just go towards them because that's where your greatest
Go
power
towards your
lies.
fears.
Yes, thank you. So it was grand. But you want to hear something cute? My other
Mhm.
boss, she texted us if anybody wants to do this event where we create flower bouquets. And I was the only one that said yes. So me and my boss are going to create flower bouquets this week.
That is so cute. Where?
Well, I can't say that on the internet,
Correct. Correct.
but
Good call.
close by. So that'll be fun.
Nice. That's so
Yeah,
sweet.
thanks for asking about my breath work. I hope there were some nuggets in there for all of you nuggets to take in.
Yeah, I think it's honestly a very challenging nervous system regulation, upregulation technique, and there is downregulation for breath work too. Honestly, I do not enjoy it at this phase in my breathwork journey. It's a little bit, or sorry, this phase in my nervous system journey. It's a little bit too much for me, and I can feel when I need it, and I'll
Mhm.
utilize it as a tool when I need it, but it's few and far between.
Yeah, I was talking about that with Sally, and we were talking about how sometimes you need down regulation, which is like that slow breathing. You need that grounding. You need to lay on the dirt. You need to be in community. You need cuddles. You need that. And then sometimes you need that upregulation of screaming, shaking, active breath work. It's two completely different forms of healing for your soul and your nervous system.
Yeah, and I think you'll use both along the journey.
Oh, you have to. 100%.
Mhm.
I mean, even right after the upregulation, it's like, okay, go ground?
Right, right, exactly.
Yeah.
And mom enjoyed it?
Yeah. Mom was talking all about her chakras. And when we went over and were like hands on with her, how she felt things shift and started to cry and shit. So,
Dad said he wants to go next time.
did he say that?
Mhm.
Yeah, because we told him I was doing it in Chicago and he said I need a 2-week notice to mentally prepare to go to Chicago. So,
I know, he was worried about you guys.
yeah, next time. But it was grand. I'm really hungry, so I feel like we should wrap up this take.
Yeah, let's
And
wrap it up,
then
girl.
let's wrap it up. And then Nikki's birthday is in 2 days. Happy birthday, girl.
Thank
quick
you.
little
I'll share a full
story.
report.
Yeah, I wanna hear about it, but quick little story. Nick was home last week. So just as, like, a little something, me
Oh
and
my
my
god, this
mom
literally made
decorated.
me wanna cry.
She's so funny. We just, like, decorated the kitchen with streamers or whatever, and woke her up at 6 a.m. because she had a meeting early in the morning, but we wanted to take her to breakfast because that's, like, her favorite thing to do. So we woke her up at 6 a.m. She opened her little gift, and anybody who got woken up at 6 a.m., if you did that to me, bro,
It was, like,
no.
the most exciting thing in my life. I was
Yeah,
so
she was
happy.
like, "Oh, I love you guys," and she got up so quick and was so freaking happy like a little kid. It was cute. It was really cute,
I'm a morning
but you're
person.
weird for that. Yeah. Yeah, so then
Thank
we'll
you.
we'll
That
chat
meant
about your
so much to
birthday.
me.
I wanna hear how that's gonna go. That's gonna be a beautiful day. Um, and there's much
Yeah,
more
more
to
to come
chat
next
on.
week.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, if you stuck around for listening. We hope that you gleaned something from this or at least just enjoyed hanging out with your sisters here.
Oh,
Well,
they're all of our sisters.
yes, and
Okay, fine.
brothers. We're one
Alright,
big
peace out,
family.
fam.
Bye.